Hi there, welcome to Raelene Maths. In this final video on fraction operations, we will talk about converting improper or top-heavy fractions to mixed numbers and vice versa. Remember that a fraction just means division. For example, the fraction a over b is the same as a divided by b. When we have a mixed number, we have something that's a whole number and a fraction right beside it. This really means 7 plus 1/3 for the example of 7 1/3. So this plus is telling us that we're adding fractions, especially if we consider that 7 is 7 over 1. And we need to find a common denominator between 1 and 3, which in this case is 3. So the first number gets multiplied by 3 over 3, and the second fraction already has the common denominator, so in theory we could multiply by 1 over 1, but that's not necessary. And then we keep the common denominator of 3, and we multiply the first fraction together, 7 over 3 times 3 over 3. This step I also like to call it unreducing because it's the opposite of what we do when we simplify our fractions. So we have 21 over 3 plus 1 over 3, and now we add our numerators and keep the denominator to get 22 over 3. Now a lot of people know the shortcut for this. When they see 7 over 3, they simply multiply the 7 times the 3, and then they add that result to the 1. If we do that, 3 times 7 is 21, plus 1 all over 3 gives us the same result. This shortcut works, but the reason it works is because when we multiply the 7 times the 3, that's the same step that we did over here. Then we add the 1, which is what we did in blue, to get the 21 plus 1 all over 3. This is a special case of adding fractions because the first denominator is 1, and so it needs only to be multiplied by the other denominator in order to get a common denominator. You can do the blue process, which is something you've already seen for adding fractions, or you can just fast forward to the shortcut method, which is a special case for mixed fraction converted into improper fraction. Now let's take the example from the last video, which was 29 over 24, which is an improper fraction, and convert it to a mixed number. Again, remembering that a fraction just means division, we have 29 divided by 24. And you can write it using long division notation, or you could write it using the division symbol. But really what we want to find out is how many whole times the denominator, 24, goes into the numerator, 29. In this case, the answer is 1. This number is the quotient. And then we find out that we have a remainder of 5. And so we take that quotient and remainder and we use it to rewrite 29 over 24 as the quotient plus the remainder over the denominator. And then we assume the notation of plus by ignoring it and write the mixed fraction as 1 and 5 over 24ths. So the word and here implies this addition, and that addition is what we do in the opposite process of converting from mixed number to improper fraction. So there you have it, everything you need to know about fraction operations with numbers. In the next videos we'll take a look at how to do the same steps but with algebraic expressions. Thanks for checking out Raelene Maths.